Welcome back to Poe Discussions with Carmen and
Jeanie, that's me.
welcome to back to this very cold November evening. We have some unusually cold weather here in Tennessee, which is kind of cool. And so,
No pun intended, right?
yeah, I know. Well, we have a very special guest this evening, Matthew Mercier. And Matthew, welcome, and please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you for having me. Sure. I am a writer, teacher, storyteller. That's how I exist in the professional world.
Mhm.
I just published my first novel, Poe and I, last summer. I reside in the haunted Hudson Valley, home of Sleepy
Nice.
Hollow. Yeah, the
Yes.
Catskills, Rip Van Winkle. So I lived in the city for many years, but my wife and I left about 10 years ago, and now I live deep in the woods living the dream, writing spooky novels, chopping wood for firewood, and all the wonderful things you get when you live in the woods. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yes. Living the life. That's definitely it. And especially being up in the Hudson Valley, are you close to the Erie Canal in
I
that area?
I am not. No, I'm the Hudson Valley, excuse me, the Hudson River is closer.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm in Columbia County, which
Okay.
so I can see the Catskills from the top of my road, but I'm not quite
Nice.
here. Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful. The reason I was asking is because one of the things when I was teaching is I had to teach about the uh, building of the Erie Canal, and we had to discuss the Hudson River and the Hudson Valley and how the connection between the transportation and stuff. So I was just curious how close around that area you might be, but being close to the Catskills is even better considering the
Mhm.
kitties. Yeah.
Yes, no, the puns are endless. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I love this region tremendously. My
It's
wife,
Oh, yeah.
beautiful.
it's
It is
gorgeous.
a beautiful area,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
being surrounded by nature is definitely great for being a writer. I mean,
Oh,
it's worked wonders for what Thoreau and I can't think of anybody else at the moment, Whitman
Yeah.
and a
Whitman.
few
Well,
others.
yeah, I mean, Poe was a huge nature fan. So,
Hmm.
Hmm.
he knew the names of flora and fauna. He knew everything. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, we had a bobcat walk up our driveway last week.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
cool.
Yeah, and our cats were outside at the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
So that was a bit hair-raising. But
Yeah.
so I had to walk outside and scare away this beautiful bobcat. But
Oh,
our kitties,
wow.
our kitties were right in his sight. So
Mhm.
that's the only large predator that we worry
Has
about.
shown up. Well, that's good.
That
Yeah, I
is
mean, we
good.
have we have coyotes too, but bobcats are pretty regular.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So let me talk to you, Matthew, a little bit. That you said you were a storyteller, and that interests me on two different levels. One, I love any type of storytelling because, as you know, Edgar Allan Poe was a wonderful storyteller.
Yeah.
But storytelling is near and dear to my heart because I actually have a master's degree in storytelling,
Oh,
and I was a professional storyteller many years ago until
Mhm.
things happened. So I wondered a little bit about how you got into storytelling. You know, what kind of spurns you? Is it just the Edgar Allan Poe side, or do you branch out to many different avenues in your storytelling? Is kind of what I was wanting to kind
sure.
of get to the nitty gritty for.
Well, my entry point into storytelling, and by storytelling, we're talking about like a live performance, so like no notes,
Hmm.
just get up there. Uh,
Oh yeah.
you're familiar with, yeah, you're familiar with the moth. Have you heard of the
Hmm.
moth? Yeah. So the moth is, I was living in this city at the time, New York, and the moth had just begun their story slams. You show up, put
Yes.
your name in a hat, and if they pick you, you get up and tell a story. So it terrified me, the idea of doing that in New York City, getting up in front of a live crowd. But I believe in taking risks, and I'd never performed. I don't have a theatrical background. Uh,
Hmm.
I never studied storytelling per se. I just read but I loved the notion of story. I thought I can do this. I can tell a story from beginning.
Hmm.
And which is a deceptive thing to tell yourself, because I've seen many people think, oh, I can do that. And then they get up there and they completely bomb, as I'm sure you maybe have seen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it happens to the best of us.
it happens.
So
Yeah. I mean, I've bombed many times.
it's
But
okay.
yeah, it's okay. But I was fortunate enough to have some grace. The first two times that I tried it, I got up on stage at the Bitter End, which is this rowdy kind of music pub in the West Village in New York.
Okay.
And I told that the theme for the night was spirit.
Cool.
So, and I went second to last. I got up and I told a story about a man who tried to perform a seance at Poe Cottage.
Nice.
That was my my entry.
Cool.
Yeah, and it was a huge hit. And it was a fun story to tell because that was my first. So that was my first experience telling a story. It happened to be a Poe story, but I've told
Mhm.
multiple stories. Yeah, all
Oh,
across.
cool.
Yeah,
That really is.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw on your website that you had a video. I just clicked on one of
Mhm.
the YouTube video, and I'm assuming it was that one from the bitter end.
There's one about Poe, and there's one about the time I worked in a homeless center. I think there's one on there.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Um,
I clicked
I've,
on the one of Poe, so that's why I
oh,
was wondering.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And if you go to the Moth website, I have three stories on their website. One is my parents' love story, so that's also a good
Oh,
story.
Oh, that's
wonderful.
neat. Okay.
Yeah,
Very cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
So that's good because I mean that's the one thing we love the interaction. A lot
yeah.
of people, if they read Poe, they can get their own kind of story engrossing into it,
Mhm.
but telling it from your own perspective to an audience that may not know Poe is
Yeah.
a great way of getting people Poe indoctrinated.
Yes.
Yes,
So,
absolutely. And I just did a storytelling slash lecture. I
mhm.
integrated Poe. I was kind of informational. I memorized about a half hour of text, so that was a bit nerve-wracking because I'd never done something that long.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
wow.
But I did it at a bookstore, and it went over like gangbusters. And I sold books. And I was able to sell.
wonderful.
So that was a big. So I'd like to do more of this,
Hmm.
and instead of doing a reading off of paper, I'd like to tell a story, uh, and
Yeah.
that way, because I'm far more comfortable now, ironically enough, no notes, not having
Yeah,
notes, rather
Hmm.
than looking at it. I can't look at a piece of paper. So
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
that's
What
wonderful.
what story did you tell
At
At
the
the books.
bookstore.
at the book? At the
So I combined a number of stories that I collected, things that happened to me while I was living at Poe Cottage in the
Okay.
Bronx.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And then the title of the lecture was "You Don't Know Poe," and it
Okay.
was so I talked about some of his lesser known stories,
Okay.
stories people may not have heard. So I was able to integrate, yeah, and we had a great podcaster from Canada. He's got a great voice, and he was able to record some quotes in his voice with some
Hmm.
sound effects. So we piped those in. So it was a great little half hour, very entertaining.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was like a lecture and a storyteller. It wasn't boring. It wasn't,
Hmm.
Yeah,
yeah. So I
that's
love,
wonderful.
yeah. You have a great storyteller from your region. He's from the South. His name is Grady Hendrix. I don't know if you've
Hmm.
heard of him, but he does something similar. So
Okay.
he's my model.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of us around here, especially in the eastern area of Tennessee, where
Uh,
you got Virginia, North Carolina, and all
Hmm.
those, because the International Storytelling
yeah.
Center is in Jonesboro.
Yes.
Um, and I was lucky enough that I got to perform there way
Uh,
back in the day. And so I met quite a few, many, many wonderful storytellers. The guy from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
oh,
The one that sang the big song and everything, that played
oh,
it's
wow.
not a dulcimer, I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, I got to meet him because he was there.
Yeah.
I think his name was David. I can't remember. Anyway, it's been a really long time ago, so we won't go there. But but mixing that with your books or book, I'm assuming you're planning more books. So
Yes.
so I'll go ahead and add the S to the end of that.
No, no,
So
yeah, yeah.
But mixing that with them, that has to be a great marketing strategy
I
because,
so yeah.
yeah. So, tell us more about the book that you currently have, because I know Carmen has it right there. And
Do it may
if you
not.
have one that you can show too. Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go.
Here's my
I've
copy.
got my
Poem. Yeah,
screen behind me, so it's not showing up as well.
So
there
Yes,
you
there,
go.
and
Poe and I.
Poe and I.
I read it, I believe, not long after it came out, and just really, really loved it. And so, yeah. So without giving away any spoilers, because I think, yeah, you definitely don't want to do that. But yeah, please tell us a little bit about it.
So I knew that when I lived in the cottage, this was in the early aughts. This was like 2002 to 2006.
Okay.
Um, I always knew it would make for a great novel. I
Mhm.
just didn't have the chops back then to actually turn it into one.
Hmm.
So when it came time, and I wrote a few books before this one that utterly failed, which I think every writer does. So by the time I practiced and failed, I thought, well, I need to write about Poe Cottage now. It's time. And
Hmm.
at first I thought it would be nonfiction, but then I got really bored really fast, and I was more comfortable making things up. So I just created an alter ego named Jonah Peabody,
Hmm.
who moves into the cottage much like I did. He's an highly unreliable narrator in the great Poe tradition.
Hmm.
Moves
Yes.
into, yeah, you can't have, I knew it had to be a first person narration.
Yes.
Hmm.
And yeah, and so he moves into the cottage. He moves into Poe's basement, which is where I lived. I lived, you can see the Poe cottage is his little tiny clapboard farm cottage, and there's not much room left for the caretaker. So, so I lived in
Yes.
the basement, gave tours on the weekends, mowed the lawn, look after the garden. But his life is far more unstable and far more dark than my life. So this is not autobiographical at all. However, my subconscious, I realize, worked its way into this book. So he's got a lot of ghosts in his past. He has a lot of secrets, but it's all to an end. The chapters alternate between past and present,
Hmm.
which was a great device for me to use. It kept me from going too crazy. So
I liked how you did that. It was
thank you.
nice.
Yeah, it's not an original structure, but it worked for me, and
Mhm.
it as the chapters, as you know, Carmen, as the chapters go on, like more and more of the mystery is revealed.
Oh, yes.
He has his reasons, and things get dark really fast. So, but yeah, it's not autobiographical. However, uh, my life is all over it. It's
Mhm.
saturated with grief and sorrow. I lost my own mother the way that Poe lost his, and so that
Mhm.
is in this book on a level that I did not anticipate.
Mhm.
So, so yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Without, I think that there's no spoilers there.
Oh, no. Yeah, no, you did a very good job walking around them.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I had a great deal of fun. This book went through many drafts
Okay.
Oh,
before
yeah.
before it arrived at this present iteration. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And you won a Saturday Visitor Award for it this year.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It was a huge thrill. I knew that if I was, this book is with a small press. I knew it wasn't going to get a hell of a lot of attention,
Right. Hmm.
Mhm.
but I was aware of, I've been to the Poe Festival. I was aware of the Saturday Visitor Award.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, if I have any chance to win an award, this would be the one. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I was pretty thrilled to share the stage with other writers and to have it be recognized by Poe people.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes.
Huge thrill. Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's who I want. I want the Chris Sempner, the gentleman from Richmond, Virginia, the
Hmm.
curator
Mhm.
there.
Yes.
Yeah, he was one of the judges, and he came up to me afterwards and said, "Great job. We'd love to have you come down." So that was that was a huge validation. So yeah,
That's awesome. Yeah, Chris is great. He's been on with us
yeah,
a couple times and has helped us a
Mhm.
lot with different things. So yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
huge thrill. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Poe people are a good group to get involved with because most people don't realize how large the society is of the Poe fanatics.
Mhm.
Yeah.
of all over the world. I mean,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
we interviewed people in Australia
Oh,
because they
sure.
actually have, they have a Poe clique without, of
Mhm.
their own in Australia, and it's just amazing. Even in South America, which
Yes.
is really unusual. So,
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, goodness.
South America, yeah, Poe. I mean, the Latin Americans love Poe.
Mhm.
mhm,
Borges, I think, yeah, he translated Poe.
yes,
So yeah, it's
Yeah.
he is global. He's global
yes,
so yeah. Poe fanatics is the right word. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
I met a good number of them at the cottage.
Oh, I
yeah.
can imagine. I can imagine. I've been there twice now, to the cottage, and just it is a great Poe house of, just the three that are still in existence, and I really enjoyed going both times. The first time didn't really do a tour. They just let me and my husband walk through it, and then on this last trip, we kind of the young lady that was there walked us through and told us a little bit about some of the things more in detail instead of just us walking around. So it was great. It was great.
This was recently, this was in the last couple of years.
It was let's see, this was, let's see, trying to think. Jeannie, when did, I'm trying to think. It was this year.
Wasn't it? I thought it was the year that Lindsay graduated
No, it was
down
after
there.
that. It was
Okay, it
around,
must have been this year then. It
yeah,
was
it was
back in
around,
spring, I think.
yeah, it was back in the spring was my second visit. And the first visit, I believe, was around, I think it was during, it was after COVID. It was like 2021, I think.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, I had a great time working there. It's a
yeah.
wonderful little place. I had my own park.
Oh yeah,
There
the
you go.
Poe Park next to it, kind of, or just like, or just the
No,
grounds themselves.
just the grounds themselves. Like I
Yeah, it's
basically
beautiful.
it's beautiful. It's a nice little oasis.
Mm-hmm.
They had a group called the Ravens, a community group,
Oh
which
wow.
looked after it and picked up the
Hmm.
trash. And there was a playground, so it was a safe place for the
Yeah,
kids to play. The park next door, like a few blocks over, was the one where all the kind of illicit activities happened. So Poe Park
gotcha.
was pretty family friendly. So I
Hmm.
had a great time. There were school kids that showed up every weekend on the regular. So
Oh, that's cool.
it was a great little neighborhood park, and I
Yeah.
loved it. Yeah, it was a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I think is very good about your book, especially on the cover, having
Forecast for tomorrow in Heritage TA. Look for lots of
Having the cottage right there.
Yes.
Uh, it's beautiful.
yeah, and that's one of the things I was wanting to point out is that a lot of people that aren't Poe fanatics or even Poe um, knowers or knowledgeable
Mhm.
Yeah.
don't know a lot about him being in New York.
No, no, they
And
don't.
so
Yeah.
Yeah.
with that book, because the ambiance of the book cover
Yeah.
gives it that Poe-ish and like, oh,
Yeah.
where is that at kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I loved when I saw the cover of the book. And I was like, all right,
Yeah.
because it's, and you're talking about a place that not a lot of people know that
No,
was Poe.
Yeah.
no.
So,
Yeah. The last 3 years of his life. Very
yeah.
important.
Yes.
Annabelle Lee was written there.
Oh,
Hmm.
The Bells, the Cask of Amontillado, Hop Frog.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then of course, his wife, poor wife, Virginia died there. So
Oh, I know.
but yeah, Philadelphia and Baltimore, no shade to either one of those museums.
Hmm.
They
Right.
get a lot of the press. Um, and the Bronx, people are scared of the Bronx. Like you hear the word Bronx and people are like, oh, it's dangerous. And
Yeah.
uh, no more dangerous than Philly or Baltimore. So
That is very
Exactly.
true.
yeah, so yeah, that's I was very insistent that the cottage be on the cover. I
Yeah.
wanted,
Good.
yeah,
That was smart doing that because the cover is absolutely gorgeous. I loved it when I first, ordered
good.
it and everything. And just, Poe standing behind Jonah,
Yeah.
it just gives that great vibe, that
Yeah.
Poe vibe.
Yeah.
That's Ben Baldwin from the UK, folks. He is a great
Oh,
artist. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
He's for hire. You can, I mean, freelances. Yeah, he's a great, and he put up with me because there were a lot of changes. Jonah initially appeared older. I was like, no, can you make him younger? And so, yeah, he was,
Yeah, I
That's
mean
good.
it's perfect. The cover is perfect.
thank you.
Mhm.
We worked hard on that.
Okay.
So,
So
how long has kind of Poe been in your life? Like when did you first kind of come across Poe and say, I've liked this guy a lot.
I think like most of us, I first encountered him in high school.
Okay.
We
mhm.
read Annabelle Lee,
Mm-hmm.
and somehow, even though I was young, I picked up on I understood the poem
Yeah.
on a deep level. And my teacher was a bit shocked at how I remember I did a report on Annabelle Lee,
Oh,
and
nice. Okay.
yeah, and I think so his poetry was the first thing I encountered.
Mm-hmm.
Then my mother loved The Raven. It was her favorite poem. So,
Okay.
and then we must have had a collected works around the house
Mm-hmm.
at one point. And then, so I started reading the classic tales, saw the Roger Corman films, of course, with Vincent
Mm-hmm.
Price. It was on Saturdays, Channel 56 in our area had these
Uh-huh.
features. So the Poe films were always in circulation.
Yeah.
So it's just, yeah, he's always there. Like Poe, it's hard to escape Poe. I think
Yeah.
most of us encounter him young, but yeah. And then of course it's from there, from Poe, it was a quick jump to Stephen King,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Barker, who also, yeah, so Lovecraft and all the rest. It just,
Yeah.
but yeah, he's kind of always been there. I think
Yeah.
I think most of us could say that Poe's always been.
I think so too, because I mean, even, I'm Jeannie's a retired teacher and I'm still teaching freshman English, and Annabelle Lee is one of the poems that's in our curriculum. And so, I mean, it it's amazing to me to be able to teach Poe still and just put this onto the young people. So it's never going to end. Poe is always going to be there, and
Yeah.
it's hard to almost fathom sometimes that this author has made such an impact on so many people for many different reasons.
It's incredible. It's the author's dream, but
Mm-hmm.
he got there first and did so much
Mm-hmm.
for anyone
Yeah.
else. So he's a
Absolutely.
pioneer. Yeah. So he's the father of us all in
Yes.
Yeah.
many
Well,
ways.
and I think a lot of that has to do with even in today's society with the students that are being introduced to him today, they can identify because Poe is on the paper. It's
Hmm.
like when you're reading it, you're looking into the mind of the author, and there's very few authors who do that and actually connect to their audience that well to where you not only identify his works, but you identify the author before you identify the works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that's what touches all of us about him, and at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
So,
He's iconic.
Hmm.
yes.
You know a Poe story when you read it.
Hmm.
And they're embedded in the DNA of the culture.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
can, yeah. So it's really remarkable. I don't know how many authors can claim that. Um,
Very few indeed.
Hmm.
very few that are, but also not just literary, but also immensely popular,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
I mean, Whitman is well known, but I don't think the kids are as into Whitman as they are into Poe.
Hmm.
Absolutely
No.
not. And even some of my students, over the past few years, it's like when I talk about just, a short background on Poe, they don't realize that he is more than horror and some
Oh,
poetry.
yes.
Hmm.
And so when I say, well, there's these types of stories, there's science fiction and all these other things, they're
Yeah.
like, oh, well, I need to check more about him out. So
Yeah. No, one of my favorite stories of his that doesn't get a lot of play is called The Man of the Crowd.
that's a
Hmm.
great one. Yes.
Yeah, it's such a creepy story.
Yes.
Not an ounce of blood is spilled. It's
Right.
just, it seems to be Poe's take on evil, and that
Yeah.
evil will always be with us. You can't do anything about this man of the crowd. He's a person, a genius of crime. He
Mhm.
loves to be in the metropolitan areas and love to be plotting. It's just a eerily disquieting story
Yeah,
that's inscrutable. I don't even know if I've got the right meaning behind it, but it certainly seems to be his comment on the fact that among us there will be one or two people who are always thinking of doing awful things.
absolutely. It's yeah,
Not
it's
gonna
very
stop.
yeah, it's very psychological, and I love it. I love it.
I love it.
And
Yeah.
it just speaks to Poe's transcending generations. I
Yeah.
mean, that's the wonderful thing about his works. It wasn't just pigeonholed in that time period.
Mhm.
It's
No.
stories that can be applied to any time period and
Yeah.
any type of society
Yeah.
or any kind of conflict or tragedy or crisis that you might be coming into
Mhm.
Yeah.
or getting out of. There's something about one of his stories that will touch you to help you deal with that. And
Yeah.
in my opinion, that's one of the things that he's done for me.
Oh yeah.
And
Really? Yeah.
so and like you said, that in your book, there was things that were coming out, like with your mother and having the similarities with Edgar Allan Poe's mother and what happened to them,
Hmm.
uh, that you just don't realize until after you've read it
Mhm.
Yeah.
and then experienced it and you're going, wait a minute, where'd
Mhm.
that come from? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's all there. Of course, during his time, a lot of people were kind of disgusted by what he wrote about. Uh,
Hmm.
True. Mhm.
Getting into the mind of a murderer was not something that America really wanted to think about, or at
No.
least the majority of Americans. But he was on the cusp. Hawthorne and Melville, they were all writing about the dark side of humanity. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, he was there. So, but he was the first. Yeah, he's in the subconscious mind, revenge,
Yeah.
murder, all of that sensationalist stuff. But he got to it. Telltale Heart is very psychological.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
Hmm.
it's like it's Crime and Punishment, but it's Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment in a page and
Yes.
a half. It's like
Yeah.
this story
It's true.
Yes.
minus the Russian history and Catholic existentialism. Like it's just
Yes.
It's very true.
much short. I'd much rather read Telltale Heart again than Crime and
Yes.
Punishment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
wish my teacher in high school would have would have let us read Telltale Heart instead of torturing us. Well, no,
Yeah.
torturing us with Crime and Punishment. Not that it wasn't a wonderful story
No,
once
yeah.
I
Yeah.
had a few years to digest it and get over the having to read it kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, just give me the Telltale Heart. It's short, sweet, to the point, and yes, it doesn't have all the cultural, with the Russians, but still,
Still, it
it
worked.
made its point.
Made its
So
point.
speaking of your next book,
Uh,
what's your idea? Want to
so
give us a little
yeah, I'll give
little
you a preview.
insert?
Well, I had a
Yeah.
couple of false starts as happens. Like I've got a couple. I started like a couple of books, and I realized they were bigger uh, than
Mhm.
I wasn't ready to write them. So, but this summer
Okay.
I did draft a tighter and shorter novel, 90,000 words roughly. So it's in rough draft form right now. I'm
Okay.
Okay.
currently going through revisions, but it is, my God, ladies, it's far weirder than this one. It's going to be very strange.
Okay. That's
Nothing
okay.
wrong with that. That's not
Well,
we love that.
you say that now. I don't know. You want to hear the elevator pitch?
Sure.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay. This so it's not as salacious as it sounds, but so a man on Cape Cod, he's living on Cape Cod, newly divorced, trying to hang on to his daughter. He's at home, he's lonely, and so he does what many a lonely American does sometimes. He logs onto the internet
Okay.
and watches a piece of internet pornography. And
Okay.
then within that video, he hears a scream in the background and he becomes obsessed with finding the source of the scream, what
Oh
he thinks
wow.
what he thinks is a scream. So
Mhm.
it is not a graphic. It's not going to be X-rated. It's not going to be some. Uh,
Yeah.
it's not. Yeah.
Erotica.
It's not about that. It's about yeah.
It's about the. Yeah. There will be a little erotica. You can't avoid that. It's going to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
It's kind of. But I did want to write about
Hmm.
sex and that. I wanted to, it's
Mhm.
very difficult to write about this material. So I thought I wanted to set up a challenge for myself. But it's become about the father and the daughter, and it's become about this man who's roughly my age, grappling with mortality. But it's also a maritime novel. And so there are sea monsters and other creatures in it that I won't give away. But there's
Okay.
it really took off. My imagination kind of went in a direction that I did not anticipate. So, but it takes place on Cape Cod. The ocean is terrifying if you've ever been
Hmm.
to the ocean.
Yeah.
So, so that's the premise. It started off with that little nugget of a man watching a video, and it kind of spiraled out from there.
Okay.
So I'm currently in revisions. I just gave it to a friend of mine. She read the first 60 pages and she's like, "This is creepy as hell, and I want to read more." So that
That's a great statement.
Yes.
she's a great reader. So I hope that doesn't sound too salacious, but I couldn't help.
Oh,
It's I really think that the way that pornography has become ubiquitous in our culture, we have to address it to
Hmm.
some degree.
yeah.
Um, but that's just merely, it became a launching point for larger issues. So
Okay.
it's more of a dark fantasy now. It's become more of a dark,
Okay.
There
the
you go.
world, the world has expanded. So I think you'll dig
Okay.
it.
Awesome. Now, did you write it? Is it going to be in first person point of view?
No, thank
Okay.
God. No,
Okay.
for now, I am done with first person.
Okay.
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 If you've ever written in first person, I don't know.
I
Hmm.
do actually. I
You
do.
do. Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
actually enjoy it.
yeah, it's enjoyable for a while for me. But my God, it was so limiting. I had to discipline
Hmm.
myself and staying in. So
That
no.
is true. Yeah.
So no, this one is told from multiple points of view.
Oh, nice. Okay.
There's points of view from the monster's point of view. There is a monster. So
Okay.
um,
Nice.
yeah, so it's kind of this one is getting more of a creature feature vibe.
Mhm.
Woohoo.
Yeah, so are you familiar with the works of David Cronenberg? I don't know if you're familiar with
I've
his.
heard the name. What?
Yeah, I haven't read anything, but I've heard of
Yeah.
him.
Well, he redid The Fly. He did a lot of so
Okay.
he
Hmm.
deals in body horror. He deals in weirdness like that. So
Okay.
so it's kind of like a twisted version of The Little Mermaid.
Nice.
Yay. No, that sounds amazing.
That's right up my alley.
That makes any sense, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward. I think hopefully Crystal Lake will go for it again. I think it's a pretty tight, short novel. So that's what I'll let you know as soon as that deal
Yeah.
is made, I will announce it. So yeah.
Okay,
Awesome.
great. Yeah, we'll definitely look forward to that.
Hmm. Hey,
So that
Oh,
it's
yeah, I
does.
hope so.
It sounds intriguing.
I
hey,
like
it could be equivalent to Poe's Maelstrom, you know.
yes,
So
he has
you never know.
plenty of maritime stuff in Poe. So
There
Yeah.
you go.
Oh, yeah. And that's always enjoyable. So, yeah.
I like those kinds of things.
So I
I
was
loved writing it. So
do what now?
I loved writing it. I was having so much fun.
I bet. Yeah.
You know, I was
That's the best part.
it's the
Yeah.
best part because I was like, ooh, this is really twisted. I'll put this in here. So
There you go. Ooh, this is cool. Let's do.
Yeah. Now, do you
I like
have
that.
a certain writing process, like how you kind of develop your characters, or just like outlining, or just any kind of thing that helps
yeah,
you?
I'm learning what my process is. I'm thrilled that I finally completed a draft of a second book because once you write a first book, you're like, oh, every book is different. You can't every
Yeah.
Hmm.
yeah, you can have a process, but I try to get 1,000 words every day,
Okay.
100 words every day, and just get the draft moving. Um, and then maybe I'll hit a certain point like halfway through where have to go back and revise
Hmm.
and then go forward again. You know, I'll go 60,000 words, revise those 60, go back and get to 80, you know,
Hmm.
then I might do like for now, I'm going to print out this manuscript and make a rough outline and go take it in 100-page chunks.
Okay. Yeah.
Ryan. So once I can see the scope of the whole thing in front of me, then I can start revising. I don't try to revise too early because you don't want to censor yourself.
Right.
No,
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, keep it
gotta
Absolutely.
going.
let it flow.
Yep.
Mhm.
Let it flow and just let your subconscious mind take over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I avoid social media before the I try to avoid social media before the morning.
Mhm.
Save that for the afternoon. So the mornings are my best time. So
Oh, well, that's good. Yeah, I think it all I think that's seems like from different people we've talked to that, kind of get up, do something to wake up your brain, whether it's reading or something else, and it's like the words start flowing better in the morning for most people.
read a piece of poetry or something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
It's always best.
Yeah, doesn't
absolutely.
work for me. Sorry.
No?
I do better. See, I'm not a morning person.
There
It's
you go.
like
Yeah.
when the sun goes down, it's like my
Yeah.
brain goes, "Ooh, there we go."
There
Yeah.
we go.
So
That's great. I'm
I'm a
glad. Yeah. You're a night
yeah,
owl.
yes,
Yes.
always have been. I always have been. It's just one of
Great.
those things.
Great. I am incredibly stupid in the evening. I like right now I'm putting on a facade. I mean, I'm doing all right. But by
Oh,
eight
you're doing
o'clock,
great.
I will be a pumpkin, I guarantee you. I'll be
There you
a
go.
Yeah.
no,
It,
in the evenings I'm generally too weary. Yeah.
yeah.
That's great. I wish I could write at night.
Yeah, I get most of my great inspirations from the night and the moon and
Oh,
the stars
yeah.
Mhm.
and it just I don't know, there's just something about it that just calls to me. It's not that I can't write during the day, I have, but it's like I don't get as much inspiration
Hmm.
Mhm.
uh,
To each his
as I
own.
do at night. So yeah, it's one of those things.
I can
Yeah.
revise at night.
There you go. That
I don't know
works.
why. I can do revisions at night, but
Yeah,
yeah,
that
It's
works.
not the creative part. Yeah.
not the new stuff. The new stuff has to be fresh in the morning. So yeah.
Yeah. And
Mm.
I'm definitely not a morning person, but my best time to write is probably after I've woken up, I've had coffee, read, on a book or something, and then about 10, 11 o'clock is when my best times to write are.
Yeah. And how long do you write? A couple hours or?
A couple hours, yeah. And I take breaks.
Yeah.
I'll write a little bit, like eat a little bite of lunch, write some more, get up, walk around, and just,
Yep.
clear my head and that kind of thing.
Yep. I can't. It's good to get mobile. I can't just. I hate sitting down for so long. So
Exactly, exactly. Yeah.
at some
Gotta get
point,
the blood flowing.
yeah, I gotta get the blood flowing because writers sit so much, and so it's
Oh,
not
I
good.
Mhm.
know. I know. Well, do you think you'll ever do another book that has like a Poe character in it or like
Ye- Yes, I I have an idea. That is, I have a notebook full of ideas on this idea.
Uh-huh.
But it is so over the top and so it's and using Poe as a character.
Okay.
There's a lot of mythology around Poe,
Yes.
Mhm.
all these ridiculous theories about his death, and there's also these theories about his he goes missing from the biographical record for like 2 years, and so there's all these theories about that.
Right.
I have this kind of poppy idea that I would write some kind of weird historical novel with him as a character. Um,
Okay.
but it actually might work better as a graphic novel or a comic book. It's so
Oh,
wild.
neat. Okay.
Yeah, I someday I'd love to write a comic, and because it's so bonkers
Mm-hmm.
that I'm not sure how it would work as a novel. It would almost work be more fun to do it as a comic book.
Yeah.
Um, we'll see. Poe is always going to be with me.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
for now, Poe and I is yeah, I've exercised my ghosts. Of course,
There you go.
I've exercised my experience there, and I'm so happy because people have found it,
Yeah.
and I think hopefully people will always find it because Poe is, yeah, he never goes out of style. People are always interested in a Poe. I always think, oh, we've another Poe book, but people are always interested. Yeah,
Oh, absolutely. Like I feel like yeah, I've read several people's like Poe inspired novels or adaptations of,
yeah,
taking one of his stories and kind of twisting it in a different way.
yeah,
And there's so many out there. I think that you can't write, like people cannot write enough of them. I think.
yeah. He's gonna. I think that's the mark of a great writer is if you can rewrite
Mhm.
him and retell his stories in
Mhm.
a different format.
Absolutely.
time period, then because that happens with Shakespeare, it happens with
Mhm.
so many. Yeah, you can though the emotional core is still relevant.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sherlock Holmes is one of the,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
you know,
Yep.
Sir
All
Arthur Conan Doyle took most of his moxie about Sherlock Holmes and got the ideas from Poe. So
yeah.
Hmm.
Auguste Dupin is the first.
Yes.
yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm actually listening to a little mystery novel, and the lady, the character, it's in the late 1800s, where it takes place for the setting, but once they are like almost comparing her to Dupin, and they
Ah.
mention that in the book, and it was a little nugget that I did not expect that from this book, and
Hmm.
I was like, oh, this makes me really happy.
Yeah. It's wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah,
He shows up. He just, yeah. No, you have to pay homage to Auguste Dupin.
absolutely.
Yes.
But yeah, and Conan Doyle did.
Mhm.
He threw a
Mhm.
little shade, I believe, in the first Holmes story. There's a little shade
Yes.
thrown at Poe. But
Yeah.
that's the Sherlock character. But yeah.
Absolutely. Now,
Um,
and Matthew, have you always, like, when you were younger, did you always kind of think about, I want to write when I, get older, or did you write
Yeah.
when you were younger, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I did. The bug um, was with me from very early on. If you had told me it would be, a long while before I published a book, I probably would have not pursued it.
Okay.
So you have to yeah. But I wrote in fifth grade. I had a formative experience where I wrote a novel. I don't know if it was a novel, but I
Okay.
wrote a chapter novel about animals taking over the world. So that was my
Oh, neat.
nice.
Hmm.
Um, and then in high school, one of my high school writing teachers, I started to get more serious about it in high school.
Hmm.
One of my high school writing teachers was the novelist Wally Lamb. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Mm-mm.
Uh, She's Come Undone. Um, This Is Water. He Oprah picked his books for the book club a number of
Okay.
times. So he's got a new one that came out just this year. So he was my high school writing teacher,
Okay.
and he had a writing lab where students could write creatively, and so that reinvigorated me, and yeah, and then throughout college I took screenwriting classes, took writing classes,
Hmm.
um, and then I went out and lived a little. I went out and had to get I knew I had to live before I could actually commit something to paper.
Right.
At
Hmm.
Mhm.
least writing a novel seemed unthinkable. Like I didn't know how you did such a thing.
Yeah.
But the answer turns out you have to go out and just get your heart broken. You got to get beat up a little bit
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
you have something worth writing about. So um,
Absolutely. Hmm.
nobody tells you that in writing class, though.
No.
If I ever teach writing again, that's going to be part of you have to getting your heart broken is really good for writing. You're not
Yes.
going to, no, nobody plans on doing that, but it helps.
Oh, absolutely. And Jeannie and I say this all the time, especially about like Poe and what he wrote. Writing what you know, and
Mhm.
Mhm.
creating something out of it, even if it's just one little thing, and embellishing it. It is, to me, some of the best writing
Yeah.
because it's authentic. You've lived it in some way, shape, or form of what you're writing about.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the great, I had a guy interview me last year for the book, and he paid me a great compliment. He said, I could tell you had lived a life.
Yes.
Yep.
I thought, well,
And
that's,
that comes through in the book. Absolutely.
yeah. And you can't fake that.
No.
Maybe with AI you can now. I don't know. But even with
Yeah.
AI, it's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't speak
Yeah.
of AI.
Yeah.
We don't
Mm-mm.
like it.
Oh, no one's going to
No.
catch. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
My imagination is too weird.
yeah.
Uh, yeah.
It's too yeah, it's too Brave New World in 1984
No, no.
and War of the Worlds and all that kind of mixed in and Skynet, because it's like, oh
I
look,
know.
Skynet's alive. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
Uh, no, thank you.
Yeah, no. No,
Oh,
it just takes away too much for me. I mean, yes, it might be helpful just for as an assistant, in my opinion, kind of like a BlackBerry or something like that. But
Not
to
for the.
give it autonomy to do things,
Yeah.
no.
I don't know why
I
you
mean,
would. I don't know why
I
you would.
know.
I don't either. It just, anyway.
It's to
So-
me letting almost somebody else do the work for you. And it's like,
Mhm.
why would I want to do that?
No, I know I can write now. I know that I
Mhm.
can finish a 90,000 or 120,000 word novel. Like
Mhm.
Mhm.
I have that confidence and the ability that I've trained this brain to do it.
Yeah,
Yep.
And that you have your own computer up here in your head.
absolutely.
And if you don't train it, it'll get flabby.
Yeah.
So I just, AI, what happens when AI goes down? What are you going to do? So it doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense to me. I mean,
Yeah.
the only reason people would use it is for money. God help us. It's going to be up to the consumer. It's going to be,
Yes.
Yes.
so God help us if the readers, they want AI books, but fine, go over there and do it. I just,
Yeah. Yeah. You stay in your own lane. We will stay in the Poe lane.
Yes.
yeah. And you will be ostracized in writing communities if it turns out that you use AI. I just don't know why
Absolutely.
anyone would use it. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I
totally
don't either.
agree. Well, Matthew, where can our listeners and viewers find you?
I am extremely active on social media.
Okay.
Obviously, it's a double-edged sword, social media, but I do love Instagram, and I'm on Threads.
Okay.
I can give you the links at some point, but I'm usually it's Matthew Mercier Home, POEM. I'm on Facebook, but Instagram is probably my most professional
Okay.
for now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I experiment a lot with videos and posting like we all
Okay.
do. So yeah, that's
Okay.
I'm on
Cool.
social media. I have my website. You can order the book on the website. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. We always like everybody to know where they can find you.
Yep, I'm out there. You can find me. Just Google my name and Poe, and you'll get lots of content.
Awesome.
Awesome. Jinx. Yo me Coke.
Yeah.
So, but we thoroughly enjoyed having you on here
Mhm.
this evening and talking with you, and
Yep.
cannot wait for your next book. I think it sounds so cool. and
Interesting.
Yeah.
Sounds interesting. Yeah, I hope
Yes.
you. Yeah, it's got some moments, but yeah, I think you both can handle it. I think you
Oh,
know.
yeah.
Teaching middle school and high school, I think we've had moments, so
Oh,
it's
yes.
okay.
Yes.
We can handle those moments, so trust me.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm taking some chances, but I'm thrilled that you're even looking forward to it. So
Yeah.
as soon as I know if I get a digital advanced reading copy or something, I'll let you know, and you'll be the first to read it. And
Oh, that would be great. That
with
would
my next book, with this first book, I didn't know what I was doing with publicity and everything.
Mhm.
And with a small press, you have to build it up. So my next book, I'm going to do, contact all the bookstagrammers and get as many people to read it beforehand as
Mhm.
possible. Someday I'll have a big five publisher, but even then, you're going to have to do all the work. So as you know, authors have to do all the work. So
Absolutely. Yes.
yeah. So I'll certainly let you know as soon as it's finished and the deal is done and we have a release date, you'll be the first to know.
That sounds great.
Well,
And
you know where to find us.
yes, and Matthew, anything else you would like to add?
Nothing at the moment. Thank you for having me. This is a thrill. Thank you for your
Awesome.
work. Thank you for the podcast.
Thank you.
I hope it goes well. Where the podcast is on Spotify, is that correct? Do I
It
understand?
is Spotify. We're all on most of the podcast platforms out there,
Mhm.
and then we have our YouTube channel as well.
Okay. I will just shout out one other thing. I
Mm-hmm.
experiment with audio dramas. I don't know if you listen to the radio or podcast or
Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
so
I listen to ours.
use
So
ours. Yeah.
it's all I got time for. Okay, so
Yeah, no, I hear you. So I did experiment with an audio drama, and I got related to Poe. So I'm going to put that on my website so people can find that there as well.
Oh,
So
cool.
very cool.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Well, all right. Well, I guess, Jeannie,
on that note, we
we
are.
are.
Oh, wow.
wow.